Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to share with you the actual pricing for $15,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 64-year-old female. Now, first thing I recommend you do is go to our website at funeralfunds.com, and we've got these free quotes on just about every page. Just select the state that you live in. We're licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount you're looking for, put your birthday in here, the rest of the info, click the Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that's going to show you the best insurance companies that offer the lowest pricing based off your age, gender, and the state that you live in. And take full advantage of that. It's a terrific offer, and you can do actually price shopping without having to talk with agents, which is really slick. So you can also call us at 888-862-9456, and one of our agents can help you understand exactly what you're going to qualify for and what your pricing will be. Now, one of the first things we recommend a 64-year-old female do is just consider whether $15,000 is going to be appropriate for her final expense needs. And final expense needs would typically be either a cremation or a burial. So let's kind of cover those. The average cost of a cremation in the United States right now is between $1,000 to $2,000. That's if you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. Now, if you're going to have some sort of a ceremony with the cremation, like a remembrance ceremony or celebration of life, something like that, it's probably going to be about $3,500 to $4,500, depending on the part of the country that you live in. But that's going to get you pretty close. Now, as far as coverage-wise, you know, that cremation where you're just going to come home in a cardboard box or an urn, we would typically recommend getting around $5,000 to $7,000 worth of coverage. That's what most people we help would get in that situation. And you might be saying, well, Randy, you said that the cremation is going to be $2,000, but now we're talking $5,000 coverage. What's going on there? Well, what's going on is our 64-year-old female probably wants to make it to 74, maybe even 84 or higher. And we know the prices tend to go up over time. So what we do is we actually get a little more insurance than what we need, you know, what the cost of it is right now. That inflation proofs the plan in the future so that you don't have to come back and add more coverage later. And it also just locks in your lowest pricing at your lowest age right now. And so what it does long term, it protects your plan, it inflation proofs it, but short term, there's a little bit extra money if you did die sooner than anybody thought you would, that could be used to pay off other final expenses, like maybe medical bills or credit card bills, that if you'd lived longer, you would have actually paid those off. So it's really nice. It protects you both long-term from inflation, but short-term from some other miscellaneous bills. Now, if we're doing the cremation with the ceremony, most people would typically get between $7,000 to $10,000 worth of coverage. And again, we're inflation proofing it long-term, but also providing some extra money short-term just in case you died sooner than anybody thought. Now, if we're looking at a burial, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. So if you walk into pretty much any funeral home in the United States with a $10,000 check, they'll get it done. It won't be anything fancy, but they should get it done. It's hard to imagine they would tell you no, let you walk out the door, you know, walk 2 blocks down the road to one of their competitors, let them take the check from you. But yeah, it's just understand it's not going to be anything fancy, and that does not inflation proof the plan either. If you just get that 10,000. So typically a 64-year-old female we're helping would get somewhere between $10,000, $15,000, maybe even $20,000, just depending on how extravagant they had kind of things in mind for when they do pass away. But yeah, just keep in mind though, if you're on a fixed or limited income and you just can't afford a lot, at least get the $10,000 for the burial. That takes care of your most immediate needs right now, and we can always follow up and add more coverage later. But if you're in a little bit better situation financially and you want to kind of inflation proof this and get your best rates, you know, from your youngest age right now locked in, yeah, get a little bit more coverage. We can help you out with that. Now, sometimes a 64-year-old female will approach us and say, hey, I want to get my final expenses taken care of, burial, cremation, but I also want to leave money behind for the kids. So what's like $30,000 or $40,000 or $50,000 going to be? And so, for example, let's say it's $50,000, and we get her the pricing on that, and she goes, oh man, I'm on a fixed or limited income. I can't do that. But you know, by this, you know, if I just can't do everything, then I'm not going to do anything. And we have to just encourage them to kind of think a little bit differently than that, because they approached us because she wanted the final expenses taken care of. And, but because she waited too long, waited until age 64, it was just a little bit more expensive for that huge amount of coverage that she wanted. So that's her fault. That's not the insurance company's fault. So what we do is we say, hey, tell you what, let's do this. Let's get the final expense, burial, cremation taken care of right now. And we can always come back and add another plan later for the kids. But that way you get the protection right away for the kids. Because if you don't take care of that, they're going to end up probably having to put it on their credit cards, paying 26% interest and paying it off for many, many, many years. So we don't recommend that at all. Take care of your family. Leave them a wonderful legacy. Now, one thing we always recommend is first day coverage or benefits. We do not recommend those plans that that have 2-year waiting periods. We'll get into those in a minute, but yeah, we don't recommend those at all. So what first day coverage means, it means hypothetically, if your plan were issued and approved today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to write that check for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, whatever it is. It's going to be the best coverage at the lowest pricing. Now, some people say, hey, Randy, you're right. I do like that first day coverage, but I've got some health issues and I'm not sure I'll qualify. To which we say, hey, that's our issue. That's our problem, not your problem, at least from an insurance standpoint. And the reason we say that is we work with a bunch of different insurance companies. They all have different health questions. They all have different underwriting. And right now we're getting 90 to 95% of the people we help approve for first day coverage or benefits. So we're terrific at what we do. Really, the only reason we wouldn't be able to get you first day coverage is if you waited too long and you had some significant health issues, like maybe you had a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or maybe you had like dementia, or you're on dialysis or in a hospital or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we'd probably refer you out to a different insurance company. Something that also happens, seems like on a weekly basis, is somebody will call us up and say, hey, I had a family member pass away this last week. They didn't have insurance. We don't have any money. Their body's at the funeral home. The funeral home director is not going to do anything till he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so that we can get the funeral home director paid and get everything taken care of. We have to let them know that there's no insurance company in the United States that's going to pay or issue a policy on a dead person, right? So yeah, they just, you actually have to be alive to qualify for this insurance. And yeah, if you're already dead, somebody's already dead, we can't get insurance on them. So it's really terrible that a family member has passed away, but it's doubly terrible that they didn't take care of this. They knew they were going to die someday. They probably thought about getting this insurance and they just put it off. And then one day they just went and died. And now their family members have to take care of this. And it's not their responsibility, but they're going to probably have to put it on credit cards and then pay this off over years and years and years and years. So it's just a terrible burden to leave behind. And, it's a terrible legacy to leave behind, because you could have done everything else right in life and then you mess this one thing up, and that's how you're going to be remembered. So don't leave that terrible legacy behind. Just be responsible. Get this insurance. If you need to start out smaller, we can help you out with that. We can always add more coverage later. Now, one thing we don't recommend are those plans with 2-year waiting periods. And Colonial Penn, they're a fairly well-known company out there, but you've probably seen their TV commercials for that $9.95 plan. Yeah, 2-year waiting period on that $9.95 plan. Ouch. Ouch, right? You probably didn't know that, but it is. But Colonial Penn, they're not the only 2-year waiting period plan. There's other companies out there too, like Mutual of Omaha, the United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber. Gosh, just so many different insurance companies. And some of these insurance companies out there that sell these 2-year waiting periods have done an amazing job of convincing the American public that if you're over age 50, the only thing you're going to qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period, to which we always say, don't believe such nonsense, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Yeah, don't get fooled by some of those companies out there. Now, our female, age 64, probably just got done watching one of those slick Colonial Penn TV commercials, and she's probably thinking, oh, at age 64, man, for $9.95, I'm going to get a lot of coverage. I'm probably going to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000. And then she talks with the Colonial Penn agent, or goes on Colonial Penn's website, like we're doing for you here, and sees that a female age 64 for 1 unit of coverage, $9.95, that's only going to pay out $1,313. Now, that might be enough to pay for a cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn in some parts of the country. But it's not going to pay for a burial. It's not going to pay for a cremation with a ceremony or anything like that. And even if it did pay for something, it's not going to pay out for the first 2 years because it's got a 2-year waiting period. So why would you ever get a plan that is substandard from the first part and they're going to sock you with a 2-year waiting period? We don't recommend that at all. If you qualify for first aid coverage, get first aid coverage and better pricing. Do not settle for a substandard plan. Now, there's some people out there that would say, hey, you know, these companies that offer these really low teaser rates, you know, these promotional rates, that they actually don't want to sell you that plan because it's just so small. What they want to do is actually get your info, put you in their marketing funnel. And then when they get you on the phone, they'll happily show you how minuscule the coverage is. And then they'll try to upsell you into more expensive coverage that's much more profitable for the insurance company. Now, I would never say Colonial Penn would do anything like that, but there's some people out there who think otherwise. And I guess you make that determination on your own based on the fact that you're only going to get $1,313 for $9.95. But let's see what $15,000 would be. Golly, let me see, 15, maybe 12 or 13 units, I'm guessing here. 12 there we go. Yeah. So, because 11 is going to be under. So there we go. Yeah. 11's only 14 and change. So yeah. So for female age 64 to get roughly $15,000, it's going to be roughly around $120 a month. Let's go check out first aid coverage and see how much money we can save you. It's going to be a lot. So we've got $15,000 here times our female, and then age 64. Get quote right now. And again, this was $15,000 roughly for $120. And you can see here, I'll go back up and show you again, $15,000. And that's going to be, yeah, roughly $56 or $57. So would you rather get, let's take just any one of these. Here we go, level coverage here. Level coverage means first aid coverage. So would you rather get, you know, first aid coverage for like 56, 50, this is going to round up to 57. So let's say $57, or again, 15,000 for 57, or would you rather get 15,756 for $120? So yeah, you know, what we generally see is that Colonial Penn is typically right around 200% higher than our companies that offer first aid coverage. If we look at Colonial Penn here, again, they're roughly around $63 more a month, just roundabout, roughly around $63 a month. And you're going to overpay that for the rest of your life. And you're going to get socked with the 2-year waiting period. But if we, let's just do the math on that. So $63 a month times 12 months, that's going to be roughly right around $756 or so annually more. You'll overpay annually around $756. And if our female age 64 lives to age 74 with Colonial Penn, you'll have overpaid right around $7,560 more by going with Colonial Penn versus letting us help you with the first aid coverage plan. So we just don't recommend that. I mean, holy cow, imagine how much you could do and how much fun you could have with an extra roughly $7,500 in your bank account versus just putting that into the insurance company's bank account. We don't recommend you do that. Oh my gosh, keep that money. Yeah, I mean, why would you ever give away that kind of money? Just, yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, be a smart consumer. You know, if you're not a smart consumer, that's okay. We help people be smart consumers, and we can save you a lot of money. Let's look at some other companies here, though. Let's take a look. You'll be able to see all these different insurance companies. Let's maybe find one more. Oh, yeah, here's one. Like Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess. But, oh my gosh, their pricing's higher. Yikes, yeah. It is first aid coverage, but yeah, their pricing's higher. And the reason it's higher is they've got a deal where when you pass away, they will supposedly call 2 or 3 funeral homes to get the lowest pricing, maybe do a couple other things, but they don't do that for free. No, they charge for that. So it's roughly, we'll just round up, $83 versus 83 versus 57. That's roughly $25, $26 more a month. So let's do the math on that. Let's just say it's $25 a month. That's easier math. So $25 a month times 12 months, that's going to be an extra $300 a year. If our 64-year-old female makes it to 74, that's going to be an extra $3,000. So ask yourself, is it worth overpaying an insurance company over 10 years, $3,000 for them to make 2 or 3 phone calls and maybe do a couple other things that may only take an hour or so to do. There's a lot of people would say that's a dang good payday for an insurance company, right around $3,000 an hour, right? So we recommend that you keep that money in your own bank account. I mean, would you ever be walking down the street and if you had $3,000 in your pocket, just pull it out and throw it in the street and walk away? Let other people have it? No, you wouldn't. So why would you do that to an insurance company? Don't let insurance companies overcharge you. What we actually recommend you do is let us help you get approved for the lower rate. And then what we actually offer free of charge, by the way, is a free funeral and estate planning guide. And you just download that off our website, print it out. And once it's printed out, you fill it out and you write down who gets what and what goes where and what you want done after you're gone. And then you keep it with your insurance policy. And then when you pass away, your family members have everything in one spot, and they'll know that you not only protected them financially with the insurance policy, but emotionally with the funeral and estate planning guide. And all you need to do is open that funeral and estate planning guide and read it, and you'll know exactly what your family member wanted done. And all you'll have to do is just follow the directions, and everything will be taken care of. And you doing that for your family, they're going to know that you loved and protected them not only in life, but you loved and protected them in death as well. And what a wonderful gift and a wonderful legacy to leave behind, because that's when they're going to need you the most, is actually when you pass away and you're not there. And you can have everything taken care of in advance to protect your family. What a wonderful legacy to leave behind. So if you want to leave that legacy, go to funeralfunds.com. We've actually got a special quota for our YouTube viewers, funeralfunds.com/YouTube, where you can get the best insurance companies and the lowest rates and most discounts. Take full advantage of that. You're kind of silly not to take advantage of that to price shop around. And then you can call us at 888-862-9456. One of our agents can help you directly. But if you've got an existing insurance policy and you want us to price shop around to see if we can get you lower rates or see what it would be to add some coverage to that, we can help you out with that. If you're looking for a brand new policy or just have some questions about what might be most appropriate for you or what you might qualify for, we can help you out with that. But we look forward to, at some point in the future, helping you get the most amount of coverage for the least amount of money. We will be blessed to help you when that day comes. Until that day does come, you stay safe, you take care. You have a nice day. Bye-bye.